Hi, I'm Thomas Willeford, and this is Meet Your Maker Food Edition. A few weeks ago, it was my birthday, yay! And I had a Fallout themed birthday party. And I had all this food there, really cool foods and everything. And the thing everyone focused on, they went nuts over, was the deviled eggs. So the Fallout Cookbook, this guy here, has a deviled egg recipe for yum yum deviled eggs. Yum yum deviled eggs, yay! And they were exceptionally yummy. They have tons of ingredients. I mean, I'm used to deviled eggs being, you know, yolks, mayonnaise, a little mustard, maybe some relish or bacon or something like that. Instead of just a few ingredients, it has all these spices. I thought it would be too much, but it turns out it was just right. It was awesome. So I'm gonna make it again and show you how I did it. So here it goes. To make this easy, I bought pre-made hard-cooked eggs. This makes 12 little deviled eggs. I've decided that I need more than that. So I'm going to double this recipe because I have guests coming over. Cut the eggs in half. Place the yolks in a bowl. Nice sharp knife is actually safer than a dull one, but still be careful. Also, if the eggs are cold, they're firmer, and it's easier to cut them and easier to get yolk out. Now, if you boil the eggs yourself, the yolks come out easier. They do. Some people are much better at this than I am. That's the idea. Keep doing it till you get good at it. So when you're hard-boiling eggs, old trick, hard-boiled is about 10 minutes. 10-minute egg, they used to call it. Put it in cold water soon afterward. That will make the shell easier to remove from the egg. Last time I made this, it made more of the filling than the eggs really took. There was much more of the filling, which makes sense. So we took that filling and made it into a dip and put it on crackers and stuff, and it was super deluxe awesome. Always boil more eggs than you need, because if you rip one up and you do a disaster on an egg, you just grab another one. When I'm done, I am going to rinse these whites off. It won't hurt them. These are going to get rinsed. Next, I'm going to mash the crap out of these eggs. You want it really fine as possible, because otherwise it'll look lumpy. It'll be lumpy. You want it to be creamy as possible when you make your mixture that goes back in the eggs. That's why I'm using a fork to do this. Some people get this stuff super creamy. They're probably better than me at everything, but I'm going to do my best. Craft real mayonnaise. There is a way to get those fluids out of there much easier, make them flow really well. Take a vibrator, stick it against the side, and it'll make it flow. In concrete, when you want concrete to level, they take this giant vibrating thing and they stick it in the concrete, and it levels the concrete. So it works. It'll also work for mayonnaise. This is 1 cup of mayonnaise. 1 tablespoon of miso paste. That means it'll be 2 tablespoons of miso paste. 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander. I said 1/4 teaspoon, so I need 1/2 teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon, or 2.5 milliliters for the educated. 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. So that means a whole teaspoon of ground cumin. Oh, I remember this. I couldn't find ground cumin to save my life. I had to get cumin seed and literally grind it up myself. Good enough? Cool. 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. 1/2 teaspoon, so a full teaspoon of ground mustard, as opposed to prepared mustard. Prepared mustard is the stuff you get that says French's on it and stuff like that. This is ground mustard. Cayenne pepper, 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. The next thing they say is 1/4 teaspoon of ground fennel. That's another thing where I only found fennel seeds. So I am going to not do it. A little salt, a little pepper, unmeasured. get it going. Since this would take forever by hand. Power tools, because power tools make everything better. The longer you're willing to do this, the more creamy it'll be. So the next part is just to leave this here, and we're going to go rinse the eggs. Cold water. See how they're nice and pretty now? Like that. Right there. Gets all that extra fluff off of them. Better for your presentation. When you put them on your other plate, put them down. That way all the water gets out of them. I'm going to show you a little trick that's not in the book. Getting the filling into the eggs. You could scoop it out, but where's the fun in that? So, I take a plastic bag, cut a corner off, and then you take the stuff and you scoop it in. You can do this with a smaller plastic bag, but I didn't know how much volume was going to be in this stuff. Oh, it's nice and creamy. This is actually creamier than it was last time. Last time I did not do as good a job of mashing the eggs with a fork. This time I was much more diligent. Okay. So this is much easier than scooping it into each one. And you don't need a special pastry chef piece of equipment. Literally just a plastic bag. So now you can go like this and go. Some people will be very artistic with it. They'll go. See? Sadly, it looks a little bit like a poop emoji. Dried chives? I was going to use those to garnish, but I found these, so I'm going to not bother with that. I'm going to take some chives and chop them up to put on about half of them, because some people don't like chives. Easiest way to chop them is just with a pair of kitchen scissors. And you want them nice and finely chopped. You don't want big chunks of chive flying around when you're eating. By the way, chives are cheap. This whole box costs $2. So, again, don't be greedy about chopping up your chives. Just, you know. So, paprika. I grew up, you always put paprika on them. So I'm going to put a little paprika on a couple of them. Because not everyone likes paprika as much as I do. Maybe a little too much paprika. Actually, easiest way to do it, do this. Don't use the sifter it comes with. Take a pinch, put it on there like that. A couple of them are going to be neutral, have nothing. A couple of the chive ones going to have a little paprika on those too. Actually, that looks really good with the color. The yellow. Ooh, I like that. Presentation. So I have another plate just like this under this one. So I can lay them out in a pleasant display. I use cast iron for almost everything because I like it, and dinosaurs will again rule the earth before this cast iron is going to go anywhere. See, now if you have a dip or something, you can put the dip in the center. So there's plenty more of this stuff here. I'm going to take these. I'm not even going to mix the egg. I'm not even going to use the egg yolks. So I'm going to make more eggs for me. I don't even need to use the yolk. We'll probably put the yolks in a bowl outside for cats. By the way, when I say put this outside for cats, my cats are indoor cats. This is for random cats that might happen to come by and be hungry. So that you can put a little bowl with crackers or something like that next to it. So that's it. They're made. These are Yum Yum deviled eggs from the Fallout Official Cookbook. Possibly some of the best deviled eggs I've ever had. Hope you enjoyed this. Please hit like, You know, maybe subscribe even, maybe even check out my Patreon if I even have one at this point. But I want to thank you all. I am going to eat about half of these. And I'm going to tell everyone else they fell on the floor.